Hey everybody, this is Minister Kenita Smith, and today's prayer is, do you have stubborn unbelief? In Mark 16:12, Jesus had risen from the dead, and people were beginning to see him. He was revealing himself to people, but they weren't necessarily believing that it was him. Mary had already seen him, and she was telling the other disciples, but people didn't believe her. So in this scripture, Jesus was around some disciples. They were walking up the road, and he basically disguised himself, or he appeared to them in a different way. And they didn't recognize him. And then when they realized that it was him, they were in unbelief. And Jesus rebuked them. He said, I rebuke your unbelief. And the reason he did that is because, listen, when I was with you, I told you that this was going to happen. And you didn't believe then. And then you still don't believe now, and I'm in front of you. How many of us are in a position where Jesus has told us something is going to happen? He's given us a warning about what may come that may be negative, or some kind of encouragement about what may come later. But because we don't see it or we don't understand how it may happen, we don't believe it. And so God is rebuking your unbelief right now. Do you have stubborn unbelief? He had to appear to the disciples who had walked with him all this time in a different way. And sometimes he's having to appear to you in a different way. Maybe you thought Jesus was going to take your ministry somewhere, and he had a whole completely different map out for you than what you thought would be the way that your ministry went. Maybe he's telling you to start a business, and you thought that you would be starting a business with a particular product, and God took you somewhere that you didn't even have any research or knowledge of. All of these things are still God, but it's in a different way. I want to talk to your belief today and encourage you to not go off the deep end, right? Believe God. Whatever he's telling you, believe him in this season, because it may not look conventional and it may not be traditional, but it's still God. So do you have stubborn unbelief? That's the prayer for today. We want to encourage you to believe God no matter what it looks like, and lean not to your own understanding.